Morning friends, welcome back to Ball Homestead. My name is Beverly. If you're new here, I know it's been a bit since I posted, but life has been busy. So I have a few videos here of some baking ideas, and we're going to get started with that. Our first video is some bakery style cookies, so let's get going with those. To our mixing bowl, we're going to add a cup of sugar, a cup of brown sugar, a cup of butter, and 3 eggs, and we're going to mix that till it's well mixed. Once it's well mixed, we're going to add 2.5 cups of flour and baking powder, about a tablespoon, and a tablespoon of salt. I'm going to grab that baking powder. I kind of like to crumble mine up because it gets a little clumpy. And our salt. We're going to mix that well together. Once our dough forms, we're going to add our chocolate chips and pecan. I add about a cup of each. We're going to mix those well together. I make large cookies, so I'm using a large cookie scoop here. I'll show you what they look like when we're done getting them scooped. All right, here's our cookies ready to go in the oven. These are going to be big, thick, beautiful cookies. I'll show you what they look like when they come out. All right, now we're going to make a homemade coconut pie. And for a coconut pie, I always bake my crust first. And I'm going to add all my ingredients to this pot. And then we're going to make a custard. And we're going to add coconut to it. And then we're going to top it with Cool Whip and toasted coconut. So let's get going with that. We've got our cup of sugar, and I do about 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in there for our thickener. And we're going to put a stick of butter and 3 eggs. All right, I've got my stick of butter chopped up right here, but we're going to add a cup of milk to this. And we're going to get this all mixed up with our whisk really well, and then we'll add our butter. Right, now that we've got it all mixed, we're going to add this butter. I'll kind of cut it up so it'll melt more evenly. We're going to get it on the stove, and we're going to cook it till it's nice and thick. Look at these big, thick, beautiful cookies, guys. They turned out absolutely perfect, and they smell delicious. With our coconut pie, we really want to stay with it because it will scorch. So stay on top of it and keep a good stir on it. All right, we're going to put in about a cup of coconut and stir that in good, and then we're going to take this off the stove and let it cool. Put it in our pie crust and let it cool. Once our custard coconut pie has cooled, we'll put some Cool Whip on top, and we're going to toast some coconut and put on it. It'll be absolutely beautiful and delicious. What I'm going to do to toast this coconut is melt some butter and put in a little amount of coconut and toast it up. I'll show you. I actually got more than I meant to in here, but I have several orders for coconut pies this coming week, so it will get used. You're just going to stir it around in that butter and let it crisp up just a little bit. You don't want to leave it because it'll burn quickly. It's already starting to get nice and toasty. Like I said, it doesn't take but a minute, and the smell is amazing. All right, I took it off, and I'm going to let that cool, and we'll use that to top our coconut pie. In our mixing bowl, we're going to add 2 blocks of cream cheese and a cup and a half of peanut butter. Blending the cream cheese and peanut butter together until smooth, and next I'm going to add a couple cups of powdered sugar. Before I add that powdered sugar, I want to go ahead and add a whole regular sized tub of Cool Whip and blend that in. All right, now we're going to split it evenly between 2 pie shells, and we're going to top it with Cool Whip. All right, here's our 2 beautiful pies. They'll go in the cooler, and the customer's name will go on them, and they will be ready for delivery. Now that our coconut pie has cooled, we're going to top it with Cool Whip and put our toasted coconut on top. Look how absolutely gorgeous this turned out. Now we're going to get it covered, get the customer's name on it, and get on the next recipe. Now we're going to make some peanut butter balls. We're going to add about a cup of peanut butter to our mixing bowl. Next, we're going to add some butter, and we're going to blend those two together really well until they're a nice creamy consistency. We don't want clumps of butter in there. We want it to get really nice and smooth. So So we're gonna get that all mixed up, and then we're gonna add the key ingredient, the powdered sugar. And what I do is I'll start out with about 2 cups, and if it's still a little too sticky, I'll add a little more. And I just mix that together, and you can kind of tell you want a consistency where it sticks together, but it's not sticking to your fingers, if that makes sense. I'm going to post all the recipes for all these recipes in the description. But like right here, it looks a little sticky, so I'm going to add another cup to this and mix it in. And whenever those are all mixed in together, we're going to shape our balls, melt our chocolate, and dip these peanut butter balls in some yummy chocolate. And what I do is I will top mine with crushed peanuts. That way, because I make a variety of candy, that way you can tell the difference in what kind of desserts you have. There we've got our balls all made, and we will get those dipped in chocolate and topped with crushed peanuts. I'm just dipping away here, and we have quite a few to get done, so we have a few orders, and we had some we just made to sell on our daily dessert menu. I use a fork because I feel like the chocolate kind of runs through easier. I like that better. I'll just use a plastic fork. That way I can just toss it whenever I'm done and don't have to try to get all that chocolate off of it. But it works well for me, and that's what I've done for years, so I'll probably continue doing that. And here are our peanut butter balls. These are the white chocolate with the peanuts crumbles on top. We'll go around when these dry and chop any excess chocolate off and make them perfect for the boxes. Here are our beautiful peanut butter balls. We get them labeled in the box, and they are ready to go. One project done. Now, to start out this recipe, we're tripling it. So you'll need 2 cups of sugar, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa. And we're gonna add a stick of butter and 1/2 of a cup of milk to this. And we're gonna get it on the stove. Everything is all mixed up. You're gonna let all the butter melt and bring this to a rolling boil for 1 minute. You do want to stir this pretty often or it will stick and burn. I always have my oats ready. Here I have 3 cups of oats and 2/3 cup of peanut butter. And once my mixture has boiled for 1 minute, I put it together and mix it as good as I can real quick. Now we're gonna scoop these out and let them dry. Here they are. Once these cool for a little bit, then we'll get them wrapped up and get them set out to sell. We make a big cookie here, and hopefully these will last us for the day. I may have to make something else at first break, but we'll see. All right, now it's time for the camper, aka glamper. This was the before picture that I have, and this is the after pictures. We have really worked hard getting this how she wanted it, and I think that she's pleased. We did some painting and just moving things around, moving things out she didn't like. But we finally have a little home for them, and it's kind of a home away from home. She works nights, we watch the kids, that's why my time is limited. And then so they have a little weekend spot they can spend time together. My dad built these bunk beds so that they are RV size for the girls, and the little girls love them. But here is just a look at this camper that we kind of made her own. And I think it turned out so cute. As always, thank you for stopping back by our homestead. I hope I can get more consistent again, but having 2 babies every night gets a little exhausting. But we're gonna try to get at least 1 video out a week. So until next time, friends, goodbye.